Here we are, punters, part 2. We're just going to have a bit of a light-hearted chat about the punting gods because they've got a sense of humour, DK, haven't they?
I do, yeah. That's a good way of putting it.
So DK and I didn't talk a heap during the winter.
Right.
And just the other week, 2 Wednesdays ago, there was a meeting at Sale. I had a pretty good day, but there was one horse I'd backed there and it just was a clear favourite for most of the betting. It did get a bit of Betfair odds late. It got beat 10 lengths. Here Comes My Baby, trained by Richard Lemming.
Richard Lemming, yep.
So I'm like, I've got to have a look at these Lemming runners. There's just too many of them running in the market getting beat. So I go back and look, and it was just a staggering amount of horses that were beaten 10 lengths recently, the last 2 months.
Yeah, there was another one there, yeah.
So I wrote an email to DK and Trev, just said, what's going on with Richard Lemming? All these horses getting beat 10 lengths. So that's all I needed to do. That was enough to tempt the punting gods. That was on, I think, either a Thursday or a Friday. The next time I run into a lambing runner, right, so I've gone out and walked Sandown on Saturday morning, the day of the Moonee Valley meeting, with the Sandown meeting coming on Sunday. It's going to be north wind, so it's going to be slow, quick race patterns. You know, they're going to go slow early into the wind and run really fast home. So I actually want to be on the key on pace runners if I can be in these races. So I get to race 9 that day, and there's Lemming with the leader, with Ollie riding it, My Trust. And I'm just thinking...
My Trust, yeah.
I'm just thinking, oh, I want to find this horse. But like, I've looked at all these, they can't get in the home turn. So I'm just... No, I'm just not... I'm just... Leave me out of it. And of course...
Steam to the line.
Of course, just go, hey, it's never going to be beat.
That's it. It's all you got to do.
All you do. You've got to think it.
Just think it. That's what I said. I'll say it on here and just lock it in. But even think it, and then you're vulnerable. And the next time you're up against them, you go... Yeah, no, they do have a sense of humour, maybe. It's,
going back in history, I can remember you having a good story about Brad Barilla once.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, back when I was a bit wild in my, on social media and things like that. I copped a bad Braddock for a lot of money at Cranbourne on a Friday night, and so I sort of got on Twitter and said as much, and I think he beat me in the next 6 races. I was second, and one was Bendigo Ballarat Cup Day. I was on Tony McAvoy's second favourite in the Ballarat Cup. Brad 40 to 1 up the inside. Another race. Brad, there he got me. 2 days later, there he was getting me on the line again. So, I soon got no more bag and jocks on Twitter or anything like that.
Yeah, if you go hard, the punting gods really
stick the boots in.
Yeah, that's it.
But yeah, you're just asking for it. You know.
And I can remember another time you played B Gentle back into form.
Played B Gentle back into form. He was like 2 from 100 or something, and then I played him. He trained another winner, and another one was I thought, I'm safe. There's a jockey called Jay Bates. I think it was Jay Bates. He's now with Cindy Alderson or whatever. I thought, I can have a crack at this one because he just doesn't ride a winner. There it was. 2 days later, he rode a double. You know, it's unbelievable. Like, you know.
It is funny.
It's funny to watch, but so you've got to be very, very careful. That's all in their head, a lot of that stuff, I suppose. They're all still...
So, I rode on my set on Saturday. Voodoo Lad doesn't go as good at Flemington. Of course, he won.
Yeah.
Prazado's too good for Vanderperk. I'm happy to oppose Vanderperk. He can't beat Prazzado. He wins.
Putting that on, it takes it. There's tipping. You know, it's not really my go pots, but you put it in the paper and send it out. You've got to have really good self-confidence because you know that's what can you do? It's coming. You know, this is what am I touching myself to? And,
and the other one recently that just tests the patience and the sense of humour was twice I found end punch on Street Cheek.
Oh yeah.
Twice he rode it straight into the cul-de-sac.
And then?
And I said, that's it. Penalty for him next week, of course.
Yes,
there he is, Invincible Al. Just rides it beautifully. Home it goes. And then the next week, Chamois Road. Same again. Just a beautiful ride.
That stable is a punish to follow. Paddy Crane. Oh. Anyway, that's another one.
So there we go. That's just a bit of a chat about the punting. So D-Lane's just going to...
That's it. Plug into form. Anyone else? I want Al Curry. I copped a couple of those Al Curry rides, and I don't know what's happened with him, but come on, Luke, left.
Yeah. Well, of course, we just on the Illumicon.
On the Illumicon, so there we go.
He's sweet. We've fixed him up.
Fixed him up. He'll be back riding winners.
So I just wanted to remind you of something, DK. You and I haven't discussed this. So we'll test our memories a little bit. And I bet you've got a better memory for it from me. But I can remember we come here one day before the show. It might have been after when we were having lunch. I said, a black book, because I never black book horses. It's just not the way I bet. But occasionally I see a run and think, I just better see what the horse does next run, you know. So I black booked this horse, and I just said to DK, I black booked the horse at Geelong. I think it could have been Werribee. I can't remember. I was like, black booked the horse. yesterday, and straight away, like remember there would have been 100 runners at that meeting. Straight away, you went a good yarn. I went, yeah, that's it. Like its first start, it was in a bit of a messy race. It sort of dropped out the back. And
was in the race that Black Caviar's daughter kicked off him.
Yeah.
Or whatever it was, whatever the speedy. Ossetia. It was in there.
Yeah.
It was out the back and then just appeared late down the outside rail nearly. Yeah, I remember that.
It was just a really like it was a run that you couldn't not catch your eye.
Yeah,
so
it had to catch your eye.
It disappeared then, and then it come back after a bit of a freshen up at Moonee Valley. So I watched the run and did nothing.
Didn't do much. Yeah.
So I just got rid of, left it out of my book. Didn't worry about it. Well, he's become the synthetic champion of the season.
Yeah, what a start! And like he's just jogging the last 100, just Jay Fry, whoever's on him, just looking around where the rest of you know, and running time. What about the times he's running?
What's the times?
Like it's absolutely blowing the clock up and on his ear.
The last one I looked at it and thought, in the morning it was $2.30 and Swatham
full bullback.
It was odds on. I thought a good yarn's clearly an odds on chance in this race. He's a $1.50 chance. I mean, what's going on here? I thought, well, I'm not going to get too involved in it. You know what I mean? Like it's, and then you watch the race and think, well, I really should have been betting there. Like, it was the best odds on chance I've seen in a long time.
The speed, and, he's got everything here. But that just shows. I've got a thing that the first time we see him, or the first up run, is sort of the base for what you know. They can show. Well, I backed the horse the other day, and he was poor first up, and then he went a huge improved race second up, so I was on him third up, and then he's gone shit again. Whereas the horse who hit the line first up, you know, and then went okay second up. He went again third up, and he improved. I just think, you know, that you can see them when they appear at the races first up. I reckon that's a good sign of what's in store for the rest of the prep.
Totally.
You know?
And if they don't produce it, it's usually because they've got an issue. And like, some stables are better at it than others. Like just give him the talent run first, and then slowly building them up from there, and eventually putting them on pace or whatever they have to do. But
so that horse, you go back to his what he did on debut, that good yarn. That was his. You know, he showed talent. You know, showed real talent. You know, so his Moonee Valley run, you know, compared to his first start, you know, you've got to sort of balance all that out.
Well, I imagine he's going to have to go to the turf now, so it'll be interesting to see what he can do in a, you know, whether it's Sandown or Caulfield or something like that. Because I mean, what he's been doing has been quite spectacular.
Get up the front and give him something to chase.
That's it. All right, mate. So what are we're
talking? I was going to say, while we're on the jocks, talking about the jocks and things. What any thoughts on the? We were close to industrial action, and all that happened was there's one of the things that happened while we haven't done the show for a while. But it was an interesting set of circumstances.
It was definitely interesting. I didn't really think too much about it. It's the sort of thing that you know didn't really need to happen like it did it? You know what I mean?
Well, I think they were just having a little test feel, you know. It probably didn't have to happen really, but
why didn't they 3 months ago? I'm thinking, earlier on in the year they should have said to Racing Victoria, look, once we get to the end of this agreement, we're not going to ride in trials and jump outs unless we're not going to ride jump outs unless we're compensated for it. Give Racing Victoria some time to come up with a method of doing it, which the obvious one is to make them all official, so then we can see more.
It was just blind. Wasn't that just a blind, Freddie? Captain Obvious result for the whole thing.
Yeah.
Run the public trials, make all these things public trials, and the jocks get paid for them.
Yeah.
We get public information, a lot more with punters to bet with more confidence on all these things, and the jockeys get paid. You know, for the work they're doing, rather than doing the jump outs. People say, well, the jump outs don't cost as much because the jockeys are doing them for free. That's why they don't cost as much. You know.
And instead, we've still got that situation.
Yeah, we've still got that situation.
Now they're getting
$10 a ride
$10 more.
And we could go through all this again in 12 months or something.
So they've solved no problems.
Yeah, so I mean, I just don't know why we don't run more trials. I just don't understand, you know. Anyway, but because we cost to owners, but the cost to owners because the jockeys are doing it for free, you know. Just because that's the pressure on them to get rides and that, and to stick with their stables and things like that. But I definitely think I should be compensated. Nothing short.
Totally, absolutely. I mean, you know,
that's a lot of the second tier guys are doing a lot of those as well, you know. The other guys off at the races.
There's nearly as many jump outs a week as there is races.
Yeah, there is.
Really?
Yeah.
If all the ones that we don't know about, if you had them all in.
Absolutely. Anyway, but then they got it done, so.
You sent through some stuff, email this morning. That's a few guys had asked.
I sent out on Twitter a couple of questions for him. The first one was any early thoughts for anything popped up for the 3-year-old club, the Guineas and the The 1,000 Guineas?
That was James. Well, James is a good.
James.
He's part of the team. Good on you, James.
Oh, is he? Right, good, James. Yeah.
From out there at.
There is James Bourne. Jimmy
what's that
Bourne.
place halfway to Ballarat? Bacchus Marsh.
Bacchus Marsh, yeah, Melbourne.
He's from out there somewhere, I think.
Is he?
Good man. I think the 2-year-old crop last year developed really slowly, and I'm inclined to be a bit iffy on even the autumn.
No,
2-year-old form, but as it got closer to the end of the season, they started to produce. You know, they got better and better. So I think there's going to be some 3-year-olds, new season 3-year-olds, come out of the woodwork a bit. That's what I'm thinking.
First prep, you mean, or coming off the autumn runs?
Well, both, but I think
new season 3.
I'm certainly not. The ones that have their first prep, I think there's probably going to be some good ones amongst them that just weren't ready for racing.
Like Brutal,
they
I suppose, maybe.
Well, Brutal's the number 1 seed.
Yeah.
So of the ones we've seen in Victoria, Brutal's number 1 seed. But you know,
it's a juggling act to get him there.
Yeah.
Still, but that's all. It's about platform for me and those. So a horse like Bondi is one that sort of piques my interest because he's got those strong autumn placings in the 14 and 16, in the Group 1s. He's trained by Snowden, who are absolute grand final day. So he'll just have that beautiful progression. He'll be set for it, 12, 14, 16 or whatever into it. So that's what I'm sort of more. No, that's just me. That's my method of looking at everything I do with those.
No, it makes perfect sense, and I think those Sydney, because their autumn's later.
Yeah.
So that form's going to have currency. That's what you've got to beat if you want to win the Caulfield Guineas. But I think there will be ones out of the box.
Yeah, if you're out of the box, of course, if you're out of the box. But generally, that's that's what I look for. So we'll just wait and see whether these things resume. There's a couple. I saw Bondi had a trial the other day, so I'll just see how he resumes and. Well, he goes and be similar with the 1,000 Guineas at the fillies.
Once you get past the exposed form with the colts, so Brutal's the top seed, it drops away quickly. Now horses like Good and Fast and Vacillator, they have to improve lengths, you know.
And they're all probably, there's more dream because of what Mighty Boss did, there's more probably having a dream now.
Yeah.
Tavassan wins a Cranbourne Maiden and Mick Price says, we'll set him for the Guineas. That's okay, you're allowed to have a dream, but probably that's all it is, So I can't. Well, maybe in a few more weeks when things kick off, because the late July, early August, they've got to be peaking on the day. Second week, third week of October. There's still a lot of water to go under the bridge. Yep.
So from those ones that are exposed, I think the August is an interesting horse. I'll be interested to see what Brent Stanley does with him.
Trial just had a nice trial the other day. Cranbourne on Monday.
Oh, good.
Yeah,
really nice horse.
Good trainer, that bloke. Yeah. Jeez, good trainer. It's great to see him train those winners the other days.
And from the fillies,
just humbly, he just, you know what he said? We spoke about it when we watched him in Darwin. He got on and they said, congratulations training those winners. It's good. He says, just good people can see that I can train.
Yeah, definitely.
That's how you get owners these days. Everyone want to give their horses to Weir and Waller and things like that. So these blokes just need to keep their names up there so that people can see I can train.
Yeah.
And beating Waller in that 11 horses versus 1. That was very good advertisement for his training abilities.
Yeah, absolutely.
Back to the fillies, sorry mate.
And of the fillies of the exposed ones, the ones that interest me are Anjana and Multaja might be too brilliant to ever get out, but she's a good.
I didn't even know it was in. I just remember when it won that Werribee Maiden that day, whenever it was, with Jay Fry just swinging off it.
Yeah.
But jeez, and then it hit the front. I didn't even know. The boys said, "Boys, what have you done here?" And I said, "Oh, on this blue colours just steams away." Multaja. I hadn't even looked. I don't want to go at it.
Well, I remember, again, one day after we did the show, we were talking afterwards, and I said, did you see that thing went at Werribee on Sunday or Saturday? That's the best filly I've seen this season by a long way. And I was waiting for it to come back. I would have been extremely confident in an 11 or a 1200 metre race, but even I still had a really good bet.
Yeah, it was 1,000.
And all she needed was a pattern that was going to give her an opportunity, and she got it, and she was a really good bet, because I don't think we'll get another chance to back her at $5. There we go, DK. What else have we got?
Just Glenn Ingram, any thoughts on the Vega and Nature Strip Everest was?
Yeah, it's all. So I don't know the form of the other horses well enough to. So for just those two horses, and given that they're coming from this jurisdiction, Vega Magic, assuming you get, a good to dead track, he's almost certain to run his peak. You know what I mean? They'll target the race and. He's got all the attributes to win a race like that. He's a brutal horse. Long as he's He doesn't have to have much wrong with him for it to drop right off, right? But when he's in peak fitness, he's just got all the attributes you want to win a race like the Everest and race well at Randwick. So he's certain to, be extremely hard to beat in that race. He's going to run a figure that is right up his group number. So like, just say he's a 3-to-1 chance come race morning with the final field. I would think you'd probably want to have 4, maybe 6 rolls between him and Nature Strip, because Nature Strip's got the ability to do that, but he's got still, more questions to answer.
More questions to answer. He's still learning his manners, isn't he?
Yeah.
You know.
At the moment, he's fine in up to 1100 metres in a solidly testing race, but he's yet to really be fully tested in a 1200 metre flat out all the way scenario.
Yeah.
I actually think I'd want to back him. Like if he was $8 or something and Vega Metric was $4, I'd want to be on Nature Strip. I'd probably want to be on both of them. I just don't really know all the other horses well enough to know what his value, but I think he's got a big Group 1 race 1200 metre in him, but whether it's that race or not.
Or down the track.
Yeah.
He's in the right hands anyway.
Definitely, that's 100% right.
All right, mate. You have anything else?
No, that'll do us, DK.
All right, it's good to catch up.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's go and have a steak.
All right, sounds
Good
good.
on your punters.
So,
Thanks, mate.
Sweet.